When people are worried about their health and about the health of their loved ones, the last thing they need to be worried about is whether they're going to lose their house. And that's why we've aggressively moved forward with the moratorium. The original moratorium obviously is expiring, so it needs to be extended. And we will do what's necessary, fully recognizing that, this crisis will end. This is going to go away. This is temporary. What we have to be able to do is bridge the gap and to keep, the housing market intact, to keep the economic infrastructure intact long enough to get people back to work again.
Secretary Carson, I think I'm right in saying you've extended the eviction moratorium for renters by just 1 month to the middle of next month, June. You just mentioned the word that you've aggressively extended the moratorium. I guess that's not an aggressive extension as I look at it. Is this also a pledge that you will extend it again by another month if we start to come up to that mid-June date and the economy is still suffering like it is?
Well, the principle, again, being that we have to maintain the infrastructure in an appropriate way. We can't let it be destroyed and have to start all over again. So we will do what is necessary in order to do that.
You said it's going to be temporary. I mean, another 3 million Americans filed last week for unemployment benefits. We've now seen more than 36 million in a matter of weeks, Secretary Carson. It doesn't seem like it's just going to snap back.
Well, we anticipated, obviously, because we intentionally shut down the economy. Recognize that this is a very, very strong economy upon which this is built, as opposed to back in 2008, that was a very weak economy. So it took an extended period of time for it to return. In this case, a lot of underbrush is being burnt off. There's no question that some businesses won't come back, but the ground is still very fertile, and people are still very innovative and entrepreneurial, and things will come back. And that's what people have to recognize. We're making sure that we don't get into a situation where we destroy everything and have to start over again.
Secretary Carson, most of the reporting that's out there seems to suggest that the Democrats are pushing for much more help for renters and homeowners, and that the administration is the one pushing back on that in terms of the shape of the next government relief bill anyway. Where do you stand on that? Are you pushing back, or are you in fact campaigning for much more help for renters and homeowners yourself?
Well, again, recognizing that things are moving along quite well. We have very low unemployment. Businesses are growing, and this is always the goal. And you need to determine what you're going to do based on reestablishing the pathway to maintain that type of economic activity. So that's really the answer. It depends on what we're going to be able to accomplish. If we're going to just increase debt and not really concentrate on how we reopen the economy, that we're not doing a whole lot that's very helpful in that situation.
But what about specifically what the Democrats are proposing? $100 billion for new emergency rental assistance program as part of their new HEROES Act. Is that something you would support, given we have very high unemployment right now and a lot of renters need help?
I support helping renters in every way that we can, including, opening up the workforce again. I would be willing to do whatever is necessary to keep them, sheltered and moving in the right direction. What the dollar amounts are, I think, remains to be seen. But I look at it really more as an investment, but we don't want to bankrupt the next generation in the meantime. And that's an argument that a lot of people really haven't stopped to think about. Thomas Jefferson said it is immoral to borrow from future generations. He would probably have a heart attack if he were here today, seeing what we're doing. At the same time, it doesn't mean that we're not going to take care of the people who need to be taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now the crisis is so large and so deep, and we're seeing unemployment numbers we haven't seen since the Great Depression, and businesses are literally frozen, where there are a lot of warnings that small businesses are just going to go under, that is of utmost concern and immediate concern of how much fiscal help they can get right now. Use that fiscal power, to borrow Jay Powell of the Federal Reserve's quote, right now. We'll worry about the debt later. I mean, right now we have a massive economic crisis to get through.
Well, I probably am somewhere more in the middle. I recognize that we have to do what we have to do in order to keep people whole and not to destroy everybody's lives. I understand that. But I also understand that if we shutter everyone and don't reignite the engine of this economy, you're going to have a situation that is so devastating, you'll have a lot more people dying than ever died from the virus. So you have to be able to weigh these things together and not have one subject taboo that you're not supposed to talk about.